then there's a certain era. I remember there was something on, I can't remember what channel it was on, but I remember it was talking about certain man from, was it Gangland? I don't know if it was Gangland, but it was talking about like people like in certain areas. So there's people in Brixton. It looked at certain old school man there, and some of these men were smoking crack because that was actually the thing. Yeah, and obviously here we're like, what? That don't make no sense. Like you're a bitty, you're this, you're that. But that was actually something within that era that was actually very normal for men to do. Or let's not say normal, but it wasn't like seen as where it is now. When you mentioned that friends getting addicted to the drug, how did that happen? Like, was it men are dealing the drugs, the men just start, or is it a friend says, yo, try it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's a good question you're asking there. It's a good question.
And you spoke about people losing it. There's so many questions I've got for you.
You tied it in. You tied it in there still, because that's really where it all stems from, where it comes down to. And me being a youth man in these times, I can tell you a couple of things on that. I can tell you that it was a big thing. It was a big thing going on. And I look back at it and I think, I can't say the man them were uneducated, but there's nothing more I can really describe it as. But the lucky thing for me is I wasn't. I was already educated. Again, we can tie it back to the film.
On what, sorry? Like the effects or? Like,
put it like this. I put it in two instances, life-changing instances, or very important instances for me. Again, I'll tie it back to New Jack City. I remember this, and my mum talks about it to this day. My mum, I was a youth. I don't know how old I would have been, but I was a youth. My mum went to see the film New Jack City. She came in the house and held me by my shoulders and said, there's this drug called crack. Never ever go near it, never ever She'll say this to me to this day. She'll say to me, do you remember? Of course I remember. You understand? Like, she held me and was like, don't ever And it was like sadness in her eyes that she's telling me, because this film is obviously like, we've all seen New Jack City.
Yeah, but I never looked at it like that.
Bro, because what's it based about?
But you know, it is because my parents didn't watch that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that your mum watched it and said, "Oh shit."
Yeah, my mum clocked the play.
Into that.
My mum clocked the play. I was a youth, bro. I'm talking like a child. You know what I'm saying to you? So I don't know what my mum saw. You understand? Well, I do know because I've watched the film. Or what triggered her to come and have this conversation with me. But I remember it clear as anything. She came back and was just like, "Rah." But because remember, my mum, or not remember, my mum is the first, like what you would have been. She's the first generation born here. She was born in the UK. She was born in Lewisham Hospital. You understand what I'm saying? My dad wasn't. My dad came over from Jamaica.
Right.
But my mum watched it and obviously triggered something. So she had that conversation with me. Then others, my older family members had a similar kind of conversation with me. So it's already in my mind. I know what's what.
Yeah.
But when, to get back to what you're saying, when it's hitting and the man them are starting to dabble with it, and they're calling it everything under the sun except crack. Man them are calling it oola. Man them are calling it ping, yang, every name. This is me looking back and deep in it now, looking, you man was calling it everything except crack.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And smoking it in joints and stuff. Now, I won't bait locations to bait up the man them, but all right, say the crew that round the corner from my mum's house. So these times we're like 15. And say there's 12 of us. I remember when one man started smoking it. Then it's two.
At 15?
Some of them are older than me though, innit? So man, them are like 17. There was a Donny on the set. It's like 20. He might have been the first, but I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to put that on him. He might have bust the man them on it still. You know them man there? You know them ones. But we're not going to put that on him. I'll big him up. He's a good guy still. Me and him never fallen out. He's a good guy. Outside of that, anyway, he's a good guy. And also as well, like I say, man, they might not know what they're doing. And for it to spread like an epidemic it did, I don't think man, them knew what they're doing. So anyway, these men start doing it. And I remember it's me and, to the point where it's at a stage where it's just me and two others that don't. And man, them would go rob banks to go do it. Man, them would go on the weekend, go rob literally go fly at bookies, go fly at bank. You've seen them videos.
Yeah.
The man them would go. But again, bro, like, I don't know what it is in me, bro. There's just something where I was like, I ain't going.
Yeah.
What part of robbing banks is something that you hear runs easy on ends, bro? Maybe I don't know, brother. Maybe my thinking was a bit more rational, bro. Like, when I'm hearing niggas say we're gonna go rob a bank, I'm not thinking it's going well for me right now. You get? So I swerved that one. I swerved that one still. And true, my dad was militant, bro. Maybe it was that. My dad was millie, bro. My dad will come and box me up in front of my brethren, bro. You know them kind of old school yard man mentality, bro. Like my dad was on some militant seriousness, bro.
Yeah.
So probably that bit of fear is keeping man a level of honesty. Like I'll buck you man later, or you man going to rob the bank, yeah? See you man later about that. But anyway, so these men are doing all of that, then they buy their things and whatever. Even when we're going to little raves, I'm sneaking into jungle raves, man, them are smoking, whatever. But back to what I'm saying, so there's 3 of us left that don't. Now, somewhere around them stages there, around 16-ish, I left my parents' house. Like I said, for me, my dad's militantness was getting a bit too milly for my liking. So I just said, you know what I mean? I said, listen, I got to make a move now. So I just left, went to my grand's. So by the time, my grand's is in Lewisham, my parents is in Catford.
Right.
So by the time one more man started smoking, then one more man started smoking. Now it's just me. Yeah, man, I'm just going to have to see you, man, every now and then. Now I'm going to be with these man down Lewisham because I had another set down there. You know how it goes. I've got another set of bridges down there and nobody smokes. Clean living. That ended up to be my get money set. You see what I'm saying? But it was a real thing. Back to what you're saying, like it was a real thing of like, it really took, no one knew what they were doing, bro. That's how I look at it. I think the man them didn't really realise. Some obviously did, but a lot of them didn't. Man them were just saying, you know, acting, was man got man got, but like I said, every name, man got a ping, man got this. In the raves, you're gonna smell the aroma in the air, like as a youth, man. And man's passed it and offered it to me before. Nah, I'm good. You see what I'm saying to you? I've never done that, bro, in my lifetime.
And how did, just to stop you there quickly, how did people react to when you said, nah, I'm all right?
I never had a problem, bro.
Yeah.
I never had a problem in that still. No.
Right.
No one ever. And I'm not a peer, bro, you ain't peer pressuring me, so I don't think man would even try it.
Yeah.
No, I never had a problem with that, bro.
No, really. I know, like, when people, like, even when I was younger and people would say, you want to smoke? I'd be like, nah, I'm all right. And then there was a bit of a shame sort of thing, like, look at him, he thinks he's better or whatever. And even then, it's a really small thing. It's very easy for you to fold when those things keep happening. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, clearly you didn't, but like, just for like people that are not indulging in what their brethren are indulging in, like, don't feel like,
don't feel pressure. But know yourself. And also with that thing as well, I think crack is not a drug to be playing with people. Let's just be clear with this. Crack it, bro. So that feeling, to me, depending on your mental state, that first pull, one pull could change your whole life. You would just be like, whoosh. That's it.
Crazy.
I'm a nitty now. I'm hooked. I need more. It can happen. I don't know. You don't know someone's mental state. Like, I know people that have done it just stopped, but you know people that have done it and it's gone spiraled. So yeah, that was the era. So it did fuck up a lot of people. A lot of people would be smoking too much. A lot of people, it's something they carried through. A lot of people lost their minds. A lot of people lost them. A lot of people, we're probably still seeing the after effects of it now, bro. You see what I'm saying? So that was my experience of it then. And that's what I saw, bro. It's a real thing. What you're asking, that how you've heard it is how it went. It weren't an embarrassing thing. Brothers weren't embarrassed to do it. Man was doing it with the Chris's gal in the dance. And then man was controlling the Chris's gal. The gal was coming over to them. You see what I'm saying to you? Because a lot of them, like I said, they were doing all sorts of things, robbing banks, doing it. So they're dressed fresh. They're buying up juice.
They don't look like they don't look like a nitty.
And it's an era of like, it's a skengman era as well. So these men are in there on badness, or even at those times. Say them times there when I'm a ute man, it's more just like the gangs. So there's bare gangs in there, bro. You see what I'm saying? Man from North, man from bare gangs in there. So the gallum around them, man. So it just was what it was, bro. But thankfully, and I'm thankful for this, bro. None of that for me. And that's why probably that experience from my parents is why I'm onto my kids early and educating them. I'm not leaving it to the streets to educate them. Over them to have a lack of education on drugs or a lack of this. You got to speak to your youths. Let them know from early and explain to them, like, listen, don't ever do this, don't ever do that, blah, blah. Just like my mum did. And my mum didn't often drop them kind of gems on me. It must have been God talking through her, bro. Maybe she knew that. She didn't know, but maybe God was because I'm gonna have to walk through this flipping valley.
Yeah.
And I bit, because bro, I can't say too much, but I've been around a lot of stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I chose to let me just see what this is like.
Yeah.
Man ain't sitting there. Man ain't winners talking.
Yeah.
Man ain't winners
It's
talking.
completely
bro.
different.
It's a different podcast. It's a different podcast, bro. You might be looking mental out here. You see what I'm saying? All kinds of madness going on, bro. Because, no, we're not doing all of that. It's winners talking where man can feel safety,
Yeah.
You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
Know the vibes.
What's